What if I told you that the things you're chasing, money, love, career, success, aren't really running from you? What if they're simply waiting for you to unlock the right frequency and invite them in? Pause for a moment, look around you. Everything you've ever wanted, every dream, every goal, every breakthrough, it's closer than you think, closer than you've ever imagined. But there's a reason it hasn't shown up yet. It's not because you're not worthy. It's not because you're unlucky. And no, it's not because the universe forgot about you. It's because you haven't been taught how to align with what you desire. Most people are walking through life like radios with the dial turned to the wrong station. They want wealth, but they're tuned into scarcity. They want love, but they're vibrating with insecurity. They want career breakthroughs, but their daily thoughts scream fear and doubt. This video will change that. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal something most law of attraction videos don't tell you. Not just the pretty vision boards, or the daily affirmations, not just the positive vibes and crystals, no fluff, no magic spells, just practical, powerful truths that actually shift your reality. You'll learn how to speak directly to your subconscious mind, the true engine behind your results. You'll understand how to send the right signals into the universe, so the universe can finally send something back, not someday, not maybe if you're lucky, but consistently, predictably, repeatedly. Because here's the truth. Manifestation isn't a wish. It's a process. And you don't have to sit cross-legged in silence for hours or burn sage under the moonlight to make it happen. All you need is clarity, alignment and action. Most importantly, you need to stop doing the things that are pushing your desires away, even without you realizing it. That's what we're diving into today. You'll uncover why your mind keeps replaying the same patterns over and over again, and how to break that loop. You'll see how your daily thoughts and emotions are writing invisible instructions to your future. You'll learn how to reset that programming and install something that finally works in your favor. We're not here to wait around for good luck. We're here to become a magnet for exactly what we want. Do you want to attract more money? I'll show you why most people chase it the wrong way, and how the energy of money works on a frequency far more emotional than logical. You'll understand how your relationship with money, formed in childhood, might be silently sabotaging your income, and what you can do to shift it instantly. Looking for love? Then it's time to stop searching and start radiating. Because the most attractive people aren't the loudest, the richest, or the most beautiful. They're the most alive. You'll discover how to tap into your authentic energy, so the right person doesn't just notice you, they feel drawn to you. And when it comes to your career, it's not just about working hard. It's about working from the right mental frequency. In this video you'll discover how people align their vision with the right opportunities, without selling their soul, burning out, or settling for less. This is not just another motivational video. This is the bridge between where you are and where you know you could. Because whether or not you realize it, you've already been manifesting your reality. Every thought, every emotion, every belief, it's been broadcasting a message to the universe, and that message has shaped your current results. But here's the best part. You can change the message, you can change the vibration, and you can change what comes back to you. There are no coincidences here. You found this video for a reason. Maybe you're tired of watching other people live the life you want. Maybe you're done with feeling stuck, invisible, or maybe deep down you just know something more is waiting for you, something bigger, something better, something yours. And you're right. You're not broken. You're not lost. You're not behind schedule. You're simply at the edge of awakening to your own power. So watch close, stay with me till the very end, because you're about to learn how to flip the switch. No more hoping. No more waiting. Just alignment, flow, intention, and magnetism. By the end of this video you'll not only understand the law of attraction, you'll feel it, you'll live, and most importantly, you'll finally own it. Let's begin. Before we talk about the techniques to attract money, love, or success, we need to understand what manifestation actually means. It's a word that gets thrown around a lot, often mixed with mysticism or magic, but manifestation at its core is something very real and practical. It's not about just closing your eyes and waiting for miracles. It's about learning how your thoughts, beliefs, and actions shape the reality around you. You've been manifesting all your life, whether you've been aware of it or not. Every result you see in your world right now is connected to something you've consistently thought, felt, or acted upon. So what is manifestation? In simple terms, it's a formula: focus, to belief, action. Those three ingredients, when aligned, create results. Think about it like a recipe. You need all the right parts working together. If even one is missing or misaligned, your outcome changes. When your focus is scattered, when your belief is weak, or when your actions are out of sync with your desires, you send mixed messages to the universe, and mixed messages to the universe, and mixed messages lead to mixed results. Let's break this down a bit. First is focus. What you give your attention to expands. If you constantly focus on what's lacking, what's missing, or what's wrong, that becomes your reality, not because the world is punishing you, but because your mind is trained to notice more of what it's already familiar with. Your subconscious brain is like a search engine. Whatever you type in, whether positive or negative, it starts scanning for matching evidence. If your inner focus is on struggle, you will subconsciously find situations that confirm that struggle. If your focus is on opportunity, growth, or abundance, your brain begins picking up signals that align with that. Then comes belief. This is where many people get stuck. You can want something badly, but if deep down you don't believe it's possible for you, that internal resistance blocks the flow. Belief isn't just surface level thinking, it's emotional certainty. It's a gut level trust that what you want already exists and is on its way. If you don't believe you're worthy of love, you'll push away healthy relationships. If you believe money is evil or hard to get, your actions will reflect that belief. Even if you claim you want wealth, belief is the emotional glue that binds your focus and your effort. Without it, manifestation becomes empty daydreaming. The final ingredient is action. This is where many people misunderstand manifestation. It's not about sitting still and waiting for the universe to hand you everything. The law of attraction is not a vending machine. You don't just ask and receive instantly. Action is what shows the universe you're serious. Action is what moves energy. Even small steps count. When your actions line up with your focus and belief, you become unstoppable. You start seeing momentum. Ideas come more easily. People respond to you differently. You create movement, and with movement comes progress. Now let's briefly touch on the law of attraction. It's a term you've probably heard before. It's often described as like attracts like. That means the energy you put out through thoughts, emotions, and behaviors attracts similar energy back to you. It's not magic. It's physics. Everything in the universe vibrates at a certain frequency, including your thought. When your internal state aligns with the energy of what you want, that's when manifestation begins to take shape. Imagine tuning a radio. If you want to hear jazz music, you can't stay on a rock station. You need to adjust the frequency. The same principle applies here. You can't attract love while vibrating in fear. You can't attract wealth while stuck in a mindset of lack. You need to tune yourself, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, to the energy of what you want. That's what the law of attraction really teaches. It's not about pretending or faking positivity. It's about aligning your internal world so clearly that your external world has no choice but to reflect it. And it's not just theory. There's neuroscience backing this up. Studies show that when you visualize an outcome with full emotional intensity, your brain fires as if it's actually happening. That's why athletes visualize winning before stepping onto the field. That's why successful entrepreneurs often journal about goals they haven't achieved yet, but speak of them as already done. Your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality when emotions are involved. This is how you program your subconscious. This is how you plant the seed of manifestation. It starts with clarity. If you don't know what you want, how can you manifest it? You need to be specific. Saying I want more money is vague. If someone gave you $5, technically that's more money. Is that what you meant? Probably not. You need to be detailed. Set numbers. Set dates. And imagine how it feels to receive it. The clearer the target, the faster the arrow flies. Same goes for love. Saying I want a partner isn't enough. What kind of partner? What values do they have? How do they treat you? How do you feel in their presence? The universe responds to clarity, not confusion. When you know what you want, and you believe it's possible, you start behaving like the person who already has it. And that's the secret. Manifestation isn't about waiting, it's about becoming. You attract not what you want, but what you are. Your energy speaks louder than your words. You may say you want abundance, but if you're always stressing about money, worrying constantly, doubting your future, you're sending a stronger signal of lack than of wealth. Energy doesn't lie. That's why inner work is so important. You must clean up your beliefs, your focus, your habits. Otherwise your old identity will keep recycling the same old results. That's why manifestation is more than just thinking positive. It's about embodying the version of you who already has what you're asking for. If you want to attract a loving partner, start treating yourself with love. Set boundaries. Heal your self-worth. When you change how you treat yourself, others mirror that change. If you want to attract financial abundance, study wealth. Learn how to manage money. Act with generosity and confidence, not scarcity. You see, everything you desire is already available. There's no shortage of money in the world. There's no shortage of love. There's no shortage of opportunity. What creates the gap is your own internal programming. That's why your job is to rewire your focus, strengthen your belief, and align your actions. When all three are in harmony, life begins to shift. It might not happen overnight, but it will happen faster than you think. You'll start seeing signs, little nudges that you're on the right path. A stranger says something encouraging. A random opportunity pops up. A door opens you weren't even knocking on. That's the universe responding. Not because you begged or pleaded, but because you became magnetic to the result. Manifestation isn't about force. It's not about controlling everything. It's about creating space for what's already meant for you to arrive. And that's the beauty of it. Once you understand how manifestation works, you stop chasing, you stop stressing, you start aligning. And in that alignment, everything begins to unfold. Naturally, powerfully, effortlessly. Before we talk about visualizing or attracting anything, you have to get clear, not just kind of clear, not vague or half sure. You need to know exactly what you want. Most people skip this step. They think they want more money, more success, or a loving relationship. But when asked for details, they hesitate, they stutter. They say things like, I just want to be comfortable, or I just want someone who treats me right. That's not clarity. That's confusion. And the universe does not respond to confusion. It mirrors it. If you walked into a restaurant and told the waiter, bring me something nice, you wouldn't be surprised if what showed up wasn't what you wanted. You didn't give a clear order. Manifestation works the same way. You're always placing an order with your thoughts, feelings, and intentions. So ask yourself, what exactly am I ordering? When it comes to money, how much do you want? Be honest. Be specific. Don't just say I want to be rich. Define it. Does that mean $5,000 a month? $1 million business? A debt-free life with $100,000 in savings? Be bold about it. The clearer your financial goal, the easier it is for your mind to work toward it. The easier it is for opportunities to find. You want the kind of clarity where, if someone asked you what your financial goal is, you could say it in one sentence, without hesitation. Same with love. What kind of relationship do you want? What kind of partner fits your lifestyle, your values, your vision? Most people focus on surface traits: height, job, looks. But the real magic happens when you define how you want to feel. Do you want someone supportive, adventurous, spiritually aligned, someone who communicates deeply and shows up fully? You don't attract what you say you want. You attract what you're emotionally clear about. The more detailed your emotional vision, the more aligned your energy becomes. Now let's talk about your career. Whether you want a promotion, a new job, or to start your own business, it all starts with clarity. What does success look like for you? Is it working from home with freedom over your schedule? Is it leading a team? Is it building something of your own? Again, go beyond general wishes. Write down what kind of work excites you, what kind of people you want to work with, what kind of impact you want to create. If you wake up 5 years from now doing your dream job, what does your day look like? The best way to get this kind of clarity is to write it down. Don't keep it floating around in your head. The mind is noisy, thoughts are messy, but when you write something down, you turn a wish into a direction. That's where tools like vision journals or vision boards come in. A vision journal is where you write out your goals like they've already happened. You describe your dream life in vivid, emotional detail. You can use it to script your day, your relationship, your business, your home, whatever you desire. The point is to write it as if you're living it now. A vision board, on the other hand, is a visual representation of your goal. You collect images, quotes, and symbols that represent your desires, and place them somewhere you can see daily. It keeps your subconscious reminded of where you're headed. It trains your brain to start filtering out distractions and focusing on aligned action. You'd be surprised how powerful this is. When your mind sees the same images over and over, it starts looking for ways to make them real. It's like setting your GPS. You may not know every turn, but now you know the destination. Here's the catch though. Your vision board or journal is only as powerful as the clarity behind it. If you're putting pictures on a board that don't mean much to you, it won't work. If you're writing goals because they sound good but don't feel true to you, the energy won't connect. This is about emotional clarity, not just mental clarity. You have to feel what you want. You have to imagine it deeply enough that it becomes part of your identity. Your mind doesn't work off logic alone. It works off emotional intensity. That's what gives your vision power. So take your time with this. Don't rush it. Ask yourself the real questions. What do I actually want? Not what my family wants. Not what society expects. What do I want? What feels aligned with who I am? What lights me up? Even if I can't explain why, clarity isn't always instant. Sometimes it comes from reflecting, writing, experimenting. But once you have it, everything else gets easier. Decisions become simpler, doubts fade, actions become obvious. Clarity is the first step in turning your thoughts into things. Without it, your energy is scattered. With it, your energy becomes focused and sharp, like a laser, and a focused mind is the most powerful tool you have. Everything you want starts with knowing exactly what that is. Then the universe and your subconscious can finally go to work. Before we talk about action or alignment, we need to focus on how you speak to yourself. Your words are not just sounds. They are signals. They are instructions to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious listens to repetition, emotion and belief. That's where scripting and affirmations come in. These are powerful tools not because they're magical, but because they reprogram the way you think and feel on a daily basis. And that shift in thinking creates a shift in behavior, a shift in energy, a shift in outcome. Let's start with script. Scripting is a technique where you write about your goals and dreams as if they've already happened, not in the future tense, not with I hope or I wish. You write in the present tense, with emotion and certainty. Think of it like journaling your dream life, but from the perspective of already living it. You don't write I want to make more money. You write I'm so grateful that I now earn $10,000 every month doing work I love. You don't say I hope to find love. You say I'm in the most beautiful, secure and joyful relationship, and it feels natural and safe. This technique works because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between real and imagined experience.
especially when emotion is involved. The more vividly you write your reality, the more your mind begins to accept it as your new normal. It starts creating the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that match that story. Over time, that story becomes a belief, and beliefs shape everything. You can script daily, or even a few times a week. The key is to get into the feeling of it. Don't just write the words. Feel them, picture them, see the images in your mind as you write. If you're scripting about money, see your bank balance, feel the weight of financial freedom. Imagine paying your bills with ease. If you're scripting about your dream job, describe your office, your schedule, the people you work with, the recognition you receive. Make it real in your mind. The more detailed, the better. Now let's move to affirmations. Affirmations are short, powerful statements that reinforce a belief you want to install. They are especially useful because they're simple, quick, and easy to repeat throughout your day. Think of them like little mental reminders. You're not just trying to think positive. You're reconditioning your self-talk. But here's the catch. Your affirmations must feel believable enough to stick. Saying "I'm a millionaire" when you're drowning in debt might trigger resistance instead of empowerment. So start with statements that stretch you but don't snap you. I am learning to receive more money every day. I am open to new income streams. I am attracting financial opportunities with ease. These are strong and forward-moving, but not so extreme that your brain immediately rejects them. And remember, repetition is key. One affirmation spoken once won't shift anything, but something repeated 10, 20, or 100 times a day, especially with emotion, starts to rewire your inner narrative. You've been affirming things your whole life, even if you didn't realize it. Every time you said, "I'm not good with money," "I always get hurt," "I'll never succeed," those were affirmations, and they shaped your experience. The good news is, you can reverse that. You can replace them, word by word. Try saying your affirmations in the mirror. That adds another layer of power because now you're seeing yourself as you speak the new belief. Say them out loud with emotion. Don't whisper them with doubt. Speak them like they are true, like you believe every word. Over time, your energy will rise to meet the word. It may feel awkward at first. That's normal, but keep going. The goal is not perfection. It's repetition with intention. You can also write affirmations on sticky notes and place them where you'll see them often. Your bathroom mirror, your laptop, your fridge. Create a list of your top 5 affirmations and repeat them every morning. These could be things like, I am financially free. I am deeply loved. I am confident in who I am. I am doing meaningful work. Keep it simple. Keep it focused. Let each line be a seed you plant in your mind. Over and over again. Scripting and affirmations are about identity. You're not just chasing new results. You're becoming the person who naturally attracts those results. When you script, you step into your future self. When you affirm, you reinforce that identity again and again. These tools build the mental and emotional structure needed to hold your dreams. Without them, even if you get what you want, it may slip away. But with them, you create a foundation, a shift in how you see yourself, and that shift changes everything. Before we talk about how to make things happen in the physical world, we have to talk about something just as powerful. What happens in your mind? Because everything begins there. Every breakthrough, every opportunity, every success story, it started as an idea, a picture, a feeling. This is where visualization comes in, and it's not just about imagination, it's a daily mental practice that programs your mind to expect more, believe more, and receive more. Visualization is the art of creating mental images of the reality you want. It's not a fantasy or daydream, it's a tool. When used correctly, it becomes one of the most effective ways to train your subconscious mind to align with your goal. You see, your brain doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined event and a real one, especially when emotion is involved. That's why athletes, performers, and top achievers use visualization regularly. They rehearse success in their minds before it ever happens. They've already seen the victory, the result, the win, long before it shows up in real life. To use visualization effectively, you have to do more than just picture something once and forget about it. You need to build a habit around it. The best times to do this are early in the morning, right after waking up, and at night, just before you fall asleep. These are the times when your brain is in a relaxed, receptive state. You're not yet fully caught up in the noise of the day, and your subconscious mind is more open to suggestion. This is when your mental imagery sinks in deeper. When you visualize, don't just see your goal, feel it. That's the missing ingredient for most people. You're not watching yourself from a distance like a movie. You're stepping into the image. You're living it. Imagine you're already there. What do you see around you? What do you hear? What emotions are you feeling in that moment? If you're visualizing financial freedom, imagine checking your bank account and seeing a number that makes you smile. Feel the confidence that comes from that. Imagine paying for things with ease without worry. Picture the home, the freedom, the experiences. Let the emotion rise inside you. If you're visualizing love, don't just imagine the person. Imagine how you feel in their presence. Safe, valued, seen. Picture the moments, laughing together, holding hands, supporting each other. Feel the warmth in your chest, the peace in your mind. Let your body believe it's real, because when you feel the emotion, your nervous system responds. Your brain starts to rewire. It creates new pathways that align with the future you're building. This works for career goals too. Visualize yourself doing meaningful work. Hear the conversations, see the email. Imagine the gratitude you feel at the end of a successful day. See your calendar full of exciting opportunities. Picture the people you work with. Feel the pride and joy of using your gifts and being rewarded for them. The more detailed, the more powerful the practice becomes. It's not about getting it perfect. It's about getting consistent. And it's okay if your mind drifts sometimes. That's normal. Bring it back gently. Start with just 5 minutes in the morning, and 5 minutes at night. Find a quiet place. Close your eyes. Breathe deep. Then step into the version of you who already has what you want. Be there in your mind. Feel safe there. Feel at home there. Let it become familiar. Why does this work? Because the mind moves toward what it's familiar with. If your subconscious mind becomes used to the feeling of success, love, or abundance, it stops seeing it as distant or foreign. It starts to expect it. And when you expect something, your behavior shifts. You make different choices. You notice different opportunities. You act with more confidence and less hesitation. You align with the outcome. And that alignment makes the difference. Repetition is what rewires the brain. The more you visualize, the more natural your desires feel. Over time, the distance between where you are and where you want to be begins to shrink. You'll notice little signs, the small wins, and moments that feel like deja vu, because you've already lived them in your mind. And that's the point. You're rehearsing your future so clearly that it starts showing up around you. You don't need fancy tools or long rituals to do this. You need a quiet space, a few minutes of stillness, and a clear image in your mind. You don't even need to get every detail right. Just focus on the feeling. The emotion is what activates the process. Emotion is energy, and energy is what magnetizes your life. The more you connect to the emotional frequency of what you want, the more it begins to move toward you. That's how visualization works. You don't chase the dream. You become the person who already has it, and you let the dream chase.
Before we talk about letting go or taking action, we need to talk about one of the most powerful techniques to accelerate manifestation: engaging all your senses. Visualization becomes truly effective when it's not just something you see in your mind but something you experience. Your brain responds more strongly when a goal is vivid, multisensory, and emotionally charged. This isn't about making up fantasies. It's about tricking your brain into believing the dream is already real. And the more real it feels, the more naturally your thoughts, emotions, and actions begin to align with that version of your life. Your subconscious mind doesn't speak in words. It speaks in pictures, sounds, emotions, and physical sensations. That's why when you remember something from your past, like a favorite vacation or an important moment, you don't just think of it as a sentence. You feel it. You remember the breeze, the background sounds, the smell in the air, the way your body felt. That sensory richness is what imprints the memory deep in your brain. Now imagine using that same level of detail for a future event. That's how you create a mental imprint, so strong that your brain starts working toward it as if it's already part of your experience. So how do you do it? Start with your imagination. Picture your goal in a scene, not just a statement. If you want to manifest wealth, don't just say I'm rich. Close your eyes and imagine yourself walking into your home. Hear the sound of your feet on the floor. Feel the texture of the furniture. Smell the scent of something fresh and clean in the air. Maybe it's candles. Maybe it's flowers. Look around. What do you see? A beautiful kitchen, a cozy office space, a large window with a view. Go inside the image and let it come alive. The more senses you use, the more your brain starts to accept the vision as real. When you add sound like the voice of someone congratulating you, or the ding of a payment notification, your mind begins to expect those events. When you include touch like the feel of your steering wheel in your dream car, or the warmth of a partner's hand, your body starts feeling safe and familiar in that reality. When you engage smell like the aroma of your favorite food cooking in your future home, your nervous system connects even deeper. Let's say your goal is to attract a loving relationship. Instead of just saying I want a partner, imagine the scene. You're sitting at a cafe. Hear the quiet buzz of people around you. Smell the coffee. Feel the chair beneath you. Look at the person across the table. Hear their voice. Feel the comfort and ease in your chest. Their laugh makes you smile. The sunlight warms your skin. Your heart feels open. That feeling, that mix of sound, scent and touch, starts to tell your brain that this reality is not only possible, but familiar. And the more familiar something feels, the more likely you are to create it. The brain loves familiarity. That's why people stay in cycles, even negative ones, because it feels known. So when you make your dream known to your nervous system through multisensory experiences, you lower resistance, you reduce fear, you stop seeing the dream as something far away, and that shift opens doors. This technique also works incredibly well for career manifestation. Imagine walking into your dream office or workspace. What does it smell like? Is there fresh paper? Coffee brewing? What sounds are in the background? Keyboard clicks? Light music? Who are you talking to? How does your chair feel? Is it soft? Supportive? What are you wearing? How do you carry yourself? Confident? Focused? Calm? All of those tiny sensory details send powerful signals to your subconscious that say, this is real, this is mine, this is normal. It's helpful to add this kind of sensory immersion to your daily visualization. Don't rush through it. Take a few quiet minutes and slowly build the scene in your mind. Don't just think it, feel it. Let your body respond. Smile if it feels good. Breathe deeper. Notice the emotional shift. Your body will begin to anchor the experience, like a memory of the future. You can also support this process in the real world. Use scented candles or perfumes that match the mood of your future. Play music that makes you feel successful, relaxed or energized. Whatever fits your goal. Wear clothes that make you feel how you imagine your future self would feel. These small things, though physical, can connect you more deeply to your desired energy. They help keep you in a state that matches your vision. When you live in that feeling, even for a few minutes each day, you shift your vibration, you shift your mindset, you start seeing the world differently. And when your internal world changes, your external world can't help but follow. Your brain begins to act as if your goals are already part of your life, and soon your habits and choices start to reflect that belief. That's how sensory visualization becomes a bridge between who you are now and the future you're creating. Before we talk about aligned action and daily habits, there's something that must come first: learning how to let go of the how. This is the part that confuses most people when they start working with the law of attraction. It sounds simple in theory, but in practice, it goes against how most of us are trained to think. We've been taught that if we want something, we need to figure out every detail, every step, every outcome. But manifestation doesn't work like that. Your job is to know what you want, feel it fully, and trust that the path will reveal itself as you move forward. When you get caught up in the how, you block the flow, you choke the energy, you send a signal of doubt instead of belief. Letting go of the how is not the same as doing nothing. It doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you don't take steps. What it means is that you stop forcing outcomes. You stop needing to control every little thing. You stop trying to map out exactly how your dream will unfold. Because the truth is, most of the time it doesn't happen the way you think it will. And if you're too attached to one route, you might miss the opportunity that's trying to come through a side door. Think about it like this. When you order something online, you don't pace around the room wondering how the truck will get to your house. You don't track the entire route of the delivery vehicle or call the warehouse for updates every hour. You place the order, you get a confirmation, and you trust that it's on the way. That's how manifestation works. Once you set a clear intention and align with it emotionally, the order is placed. The universe goes to work. Your job isn't to stress about which path it takes. It's to stay open, aware, and ready to receive. This doesn't mean you stop taking action. It means you stop taking desperate action. You stop trying to control people, timing, and situations. Instead, you shift your energy from force to flow. You start to recognize that not everything is in your hands. And that's a good thing, because often, the version of success you imagined is limited compared to what's actually possible. When you let go of the how, you create space for better things. You allow solutions to come in that you would have never thought of on your own. Letting go also means letting go of the timeline. We want everything now. We're impatient. We get frustrated if something doesn't happen in a week, or a month, or even a year. But the universe works on alignment, not urgency. Something can't arrive in your life if you're not ready to receive. And if you're holding on too tightly, that energy of neediness can push it away. You attract what you are, not what you chase. So when you're calm, grounded, and expectant, instead of anxious and obsessive, you become magnetic. You've probably heard this idea before: detach from the outcome. But detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care without desperation. It means you stay committed to your vision, but flexible with the process. You believe it's already done, even if you don't yet see the proof. That kind of faith creates power. That kind of trust builds confidence. It turns you into the version of yourself that can handle the success when it finally arrives. There's also a deep connection between letting go and self-worth. When you truly believe you're worthy of something, you don't beg for it, you don't chase, you don't lose sleep trying to figure out how it's going to happen. You just know. You trust. You relax. Because people who know their value understand that what's meant for them will never miss them, and what misses them was never meant to stay. That trust doesn't make you passive. It makes you strong. It makes you aligned. Sometimes the how shows up in ways you didn't expect. A chance meeting, a random phone call, a delayed opportunity that ends up being better than what you originally wanted. But you only notice these things if you're trying to control everything. You miss the miracle in the moment. You become blind to the magic. That's why surrender is part of the process. Not because you're giving up, but because you're finally making space for things to unfold in a way that's even better than your plan. Letting go is an act of faith. It's also a test. Can you trust without proof? Can you stay in alignment even when things feel slow? Can you believe before you see the evidence? If you can, you'll move faster than most people ever do. Because while they're stuck overthinking, you're walking in flow. You're making space for clarity, guidance, and timing to work in your favor. You're not supposed to figure it all out. You're supposed to show up in the energy of belief. That's the key to letting go of the how. That's when life starts working with you instead of against you. And that's when the things you've been asking for begin to show up, quietly, unexpectedly, and right on time. Before we talk about results and manifestation, we need to talk about something equally important: aligned action. Because no matter how clear your vision is, no matter how strong your affirmations are, and no matter how deeply you visualize your dream life, if you're not moving, you're staying stuck. The universe responds to energy in motion, and aligned action is how you show you're serious. It's how you turn thought into movement, vision into progress, and faith into results. Aligned action is not just doing anything to stay busy.
It's not hustling aimlessly or chasing everything that comes your way. It's not about being exhausted all the time. Aligned action means you take steps that are in sync with your vision. You don't just work hard. You work with intention. You ask yourself, is this step moving me closer to the life I've already claimed in my scripting, my affirmations, and my visualization? If it is, you take this. If it's not, you let it go. Let's say you want to manifest a new career. It's not enough to sit on the couch and hope the right job lands in your inbox. Start by updating your resume. That's a step. Reach out to a mentor or friend in your industry. That's another step. Apply to 5 roles every day, even if they stretch you. That's aligned action. When you do this consistently, you're showing the universe that you're ready to receive. You're acting like the version of yourself who already has the job. And that energy attracts matching outcome. If you want to attract more money, aligned action might mean learning about investing, setting up a budget, or looking for a second income stream. It could mean finally offering your skills online, or having a hard conversation about a raise. The point is, you're not just thinking wealthy. You're starting to behave like someone who handles wealth with clarity and confidence. That shift creates ripple effects in your mindset and your life. Love works the same way. If your vision includes a healthy, joyful relationship, then your actions have to support that. Maybe that means healing past patterns, going to therapy, or opening up emotionally. It could mean making space in your schedule to meet new people or setting stronger boundaries, so you stop settling. Every small step says, I am becoming the version of me who is ready for this love, and that energy is magnetic. The power of aligned action is in the consistency, not the size. You don't have to make giant leaps every day. Small, steady steps build momentum. They tell your subconscious, this is real. This is happening. When you show up daily, whether it's writing 1 page, making 1 call, learning 1 new skill, you're building a new identity. You're not just dreaming anymore. It's easy to get overwhelmed when the goal feels big. That's why breaking it down into daily actions matters. Ask yourself each morning, what's one thing I can do today that aligns with my vision? What's one move I can make that supports who I'm becoming? It might be sending 1 email, watching 1 tutorial, meditating for 5 minutes, or journaling to get clarity. Even if it's small, it counts. Aligned action isn't about speed. It's about direction. There's also an emotional side to this. Sometimes aligned action means doing something uncomfortable. It means pushing past fear, past doubt, past excuses. It means showing up even when you're not sure it's working. And that's where the growth happens. Because the moment you start acting as if you already believe in the outcome, your confidence rises. You start trusting yourself more. You stop waiting to feel ready, and you become ready by taking action. Aligned action also helps you recognize and follow signs. When you're in motion, it's easier to spot opportunities. You'll notice patterns. You'll meet people. You'll hear about things that fit your path. But none of that happens if you stay still. Motion activates guidance. When you move, life moves with you. And sometimes aligned action looks like rest. Not avoidance, but intentional pause. If your body's telling you to slow down, that's action too. Listening to your energy is part of staying aligned. This is not about burnout. It's about rhythm. Take the inspired steps. Follow your curiosity. Trust that even the small moves matter. Every time you take a step in alignment with your dream, you're not just getting closer. You're reinforcing the belief that you're already on your way. You're proving to yourself and to the universe that you're not just hoping for something, you're preparing for it. And that preparation is what opens the door for your desires to arrive. Not someday, but starting now, with each step you choose to take. Before we talk about receiving more, we need to talk about appreciating what's already here. Because without gratitude, no amount of manifestation will truly feel fulfilling. Gratitude isn't just a nice habit. It's a magnetic force. It shifts your energy, it changes your focus, and it teaches your brain to stop looking for what's missing and start seeing what's working. That shift alone is enough to open new doors. Because when you focus on abundance, you begin to align with it. Practicing gratitude is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's not about denying your struggles or avoiding hard emotions. It's about training your mind to recognize the good, even when things are still unfolding. It's about saying, yes, I still have goals, but look how far I've come. That mindset builds confidence, it builds momentum, and it changes your entire outlook on life. Start with small wins. Most people overlook them because they're too focused on the big breakthrough. But the truth is, the big wins are built on the small ones. Woke up early, that's a win. Sent out a job application, said no when you usually would have said yes, that's growth. Noticed a negative thought and chose to shift it, that's progress. Every single one of those moments deserves acknowledgement, because when you celebrate progress, you create more of it. Your mind starts searching for what's going right, and what we focus on grows. Gratitude is a powerful signal to the universe that says, I am ready to receive more. When you're constantly saying thank you for what you already have, you're vibrating in abundance, not in desperation. You're not begging for change, you're welcoming it, and that shift makes all the difference. The person who says I hate where I am blocks growth. The person who says I'm thankful for the lessons I'm learning here attracts opportunities to move forward. It helps to build a daily practice. You don't need anything fancy, just take a few minutes each morning or night to write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. Start with what's in front of you. Your breath, your body, the roof over your head, a supportive friend, a lesson learned. Over time, this rewires your brain. It becomes easier to notice the good, even on difficult days. That's how gratitude strengthens your mind. It's not about ignoring pain, it's about holding on to hope while you grow through it. This leads into the deeper shift, the mindset shift from lack to abundance. Most people don't realize how much time they spend thinking about what they don't have. I don't have enough money. I'm not in a relationship. I'm not where I want to be. That energy creates resistance. It feeds frustration. It keeps you stuck in a loop of comparison and doubt. But when you start shifting your focus to what's possible, to what's already working, you create space for better things. Abundance isn't just about having more. It's a way of thinking. It's the belief that there's more than enough, that opportunities are endless, that good things can happen unexpectedly, that progress is being made, even if you don't see it yet. When you operate from that mindset, you stop acting out of fear, you make better decisions, you take smarter risks, you trust your timing instead of forcing it. Even your language shifts. You stop saying, I can't afford that, and start saying, I'm choosing where to invest my money. You stop saying, I'm always alone, and start saying, I'm learning to love myself, while preparing for the right connection. Those small changes in language reflect huge shifts in mindset, and they tell your subconscious that you're no longer the victim of your circumstances. You're the creator of your experience. Mindset is everything. 2 people can have the same challenge, but the one with an abundant mindset will find opportunity where the other sees only limitation. This is why gratitude and mindset go hand in hand. Gratitude anchors you in the present. It keeps you grounded, and an abundant mindset moves you forward with confidence and trust. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. You'll catch yourself quicker when lack thoughts show up. You'll redirect them. You'll say, that may be true now, but I'm growing, I'm expanding, I'm learning to attract more. And in that moment, you're already manifesting better, not because you forced it, but because you became a match for it. This is where real transformation begins, not when everything finally arrives, but when you choose to celebrate what's here, believe in what's coming, and live with the kind of mindset that pulls your dreams closer each day. Gratitude and abundance aren't final destinations, they are daily decisions, and those decisions are what shape your future. Before we talk about mastering one technique, we need to understand that manifestation is not about rigid rules. It's about flow, self-awareness, and what actually works for you. No one method fits everyone. You don't have to choose between scripting or affirmations, or visualization. You can combine them. In fact, combining techniques can amplify your energy and speed up results. The key is to build a system that feels natural, flexible, and emotionally charged. Use the tools that resonate, drop the ones that don't. This journey is about alignment, not pressure. Think of these tools like ingredients in a recipe. On their own, each has its own flavor. Together, they can create something powerful. For example, scripting taps into your imagination. It allows you to write out your dream life, as if it's already here. It speaks to your subconscious in story form. Meanwhile, affirmations rewire your inner dialogue. They turn doubt into belief, one phrase at a time. When you use both, you're reinforcing the same truth in different formats, one long form and emotional, the other short and repetitive. Journaling brings another layer of awareness. It helps you reflect. It clears the noise. It's where you notice your patterns, track your progress, and ask better questions. Some days you'll script your future, other days you'll journal your present, and that's okay. Both are important. One moves you forward, the other helps you understand where you are now. Don't force it into a structure, let it flow. You can also include the 7-7-7 method. If you want a more focused approach, this technique involves writing 7 affirmations, 7 times each for 7 days. It's all about repetition. When you repeat a belief that many times, it starts to sink in. You begin to hear it in your mind even when you're not thinking about it. That's how you change your self-talk. By making the new belief louder than the old one. The beauty of combining techniques is that it keeps your energy free. Some days, scripting might feel powerful. Other days, a few bold affirmations might be all you need. You're not stuck in one box. You're building a mindset routine that supports your growth, your style, your rhythm. The more you experiment, the more you discover what lights you up. And that spark is where the magic lives. For example, you can start your day with a short scripting session. Write one paragraph describing your day as if it already happened and went perfectly. Then choose one affirmation from your script, something that captures the essence of what you want, and repeat it 7 times. Say it out loud if you can. Let it hit your system. Then at night, journal honestly about what felt aligned and what didn't. What pulled you closer to your vision? What made you feel stuck? This cycle of vision, belief, reflection creates real transformation. Don't overthink the method. Trust your energy. If something excites you, follow it. If a technique starts to feel dry or forced, take a break. Manifestation should feel like alignment, not homework. You're not here to do rituals just to say you did them. You're here to shift your mindset, your energy, and eventually your results. And that shift starts with intentional, aligned practices, not perfect ones. You might also find it helpful to rotate your focus depending on your goal. If you're working on attracting money, spend a week scripting your ideal financial life. Use money-focused affirmations like I am open to receiving wealth, or I attract income through aligned opportunities. Journal about your beliefs around money. Where do you still feel like? What stories did you grow up with? Then do a 7-7-7 session, using your favorite financial affirmation. Watch how your energy changes over those 7 days. Then switch to love, or career, or confidence. The point is to work with your energy, not against it. Let your focus evolve as your life does. Some techniques will stick with you long term. Others will come and go like seasons. That's normal. What matters most is that you stay connected to your intention, your emotion, and your belief. Combining techniques doesn't mean doing more. It means using what supports your alignment in the moment. Maybe today that's a 5-minute visualization and 3 strong affirmations. Maybe tomorrow it's a full scripting page and a journal entry. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. The more emotionally involved you are in your practice, the more powerful your manifestation becomes. Keep it simple, but stay consistent. This isn't about copying what others do. It's about discovering what helps you stay connected to your vision. Trust yourself to know what's working. You'll feel it. You'll see it. And most importantly, you'll start becoming the version of you that no longer waits for change, but creates it day by day, thought by thought, action by action. Manifestation isn't just about wishing. It's about becoming. You've learned the steps. Get clear on what you want. Script it as if it's already real. Visualize it with emotion. Add sensory details that bring it to life. And then let go of the outcome. Take aligned, consistent action. Practice deep gratitude for what's already in front of you. And remember, there's no single perfect method. Combine the tools that feel right to you. Your journey is your own. This process isn't about doing everything at once. It's about doing something every day. Even 5 minutes of focused intention can shift your energy. Momentum builds with small, consistent steps.